Hey, what's up? Welcome back. This is Trevor, the creative guy behind Quacks Art Studios. So today we're just going to finish with the text tool and then we dive deep into the shape tool in PixelLab. Stick with me, let's create something that speaks. Is the style. The style is just where you manipulate also the text, where you can make the text to be bold or to be italic or to be underlined. To disable all the settings, just click here, this T with a cross. So there's this bar where selection, whereby you can choose to manipulate a certain part of the text. Maybe you just want the text only to be manipulated, maybe to be italic or maybe to be bold. That means you can select through this. Maybe you just want the books to be underlined. That's how you do it. So I will disable this. We're moving to a curve tool. Curve tool, it means you're just bending the text. You're manipulating by bending. So I'll copy this. This is how you create it. So I can just rotate it, something like that. That's the bending tool. So I'll delete this, or I will just undo what changes I've made. Then we are moving to the background. Here you just set a background to the text only. For example, I can choose this color. We talked of for contrasts. Yellow with white text doesn't work together, unless the yellow is a dark yellow. But if it's a bright yellow, then for example we can take this kind of yellow. That means we are breaching the principle of color, of contrast, because here the text will not be visible. So make sure to work with contrast every time. So here just adding the background to your text, so you can increase the padding, the left padding like that, the right padding like that, the top and the bottom, something like that. Maybe you want something like that. And there's a radius, that means the angles now, the edges, you're just increasing the radius. It'll be now in a linear way or in a circular manner. This only affects the text. That's how you deal with that. So this will be your final thing. So you can increase the size, put it somewhere you want. That's how you deal with the background. So I'm just going to disable that. Let's remain with the text. The other tool is alignment. We talked of alignment in the principles of designing. So I'm just going to select the codes, the default codes, which comes with PixelLab. So that should explain more about the alignment. So I'll just change this to sans serif font. So this is what is called a center alignment. Align. So this is the center alignment. It means your text will be centered at the middle or in the center. Let's say your text, you want it to start at the margin to the left. That means you have to adjust it to the left. So this will be it. You want a center, you choose the center alignment. So this is the center alignment. I'll duplicate that. Let's create the light alignment. This will be the light alignment. So as you can see, it's justified at the right. So this is how you deal with the alignment. Left alignment, this is the right alignment, center alignment. That's how you deal with the alignment. The other thing is spacing. Spacing deals with spaces between text or word. Spacing. For example, if I increase the space between a text, so there's a letter or words, so you can choose. You want to increase the space between letters, or you want to increase the space between words. So if I increase letters, that means when I increase the text, the space between text is increasing. For us to see, let's just choose a one word. No, let's choose 3 words, 4 words. Just delete this one. Try to increase this one. So if I increase this, so this is the default. If I increase the size, the spacing between letters, as you can see, the letters, they're creating space. Between words, that's how spacing works. The other thing is line spacing. Line spacing here, it can't work because it's just a one line. But with this, if I increase the spacing between lines, you can reduce, you can increase the spacing between lines. Let's say you have a list of products, you can use this one to increase the spacing. That's how you deal with the spacing, right? Spacing. There is stroke. Stroke is just a boundary between the around the text. So if I do this, if I increase, enable the stroke, let's choose the color. We're dealing with contrast. It's not going to be clear if we use this brighter yellow, so let's use this. So it's just a boundary around the text. So you can choose the scale or the width of the stroke. So that's how you deal with the stroke. The other thing is shadow. You can increase the shadow for it to be clear. Let's delete this, remove this. Let's remain with learning. And I should change the font to something bold. Let's use that. Let's change the background to white. So this is how you deal with spacing. You deal with shadow. If you increase the shadow is black, as you can see. If I change the shadow to white, the text is not going to be visible. As you can, this is how you change the font, the color of the shadow. So you can increase or decrease the opacity or the blur radius. So you can make it outgrow so that it should grow, or you can change the axes. So you can be left. This is the x-axis and y-axis. So it's just a shadow, so you can drift it everywhere, every position that you want. That's how you deal with the stroke, shadow. So that is an outer shadow. Then there is an inner shadow. So I'm just going to change the text this color, then turn this off. If I increase the inner shadow, the shadow comes inside the text, as you can see. The shadow comes inside the text, so it's an inner shadow. The other thing is emboss. That's how the emboss affects. So you can change the angle of the emboss, change the intensity. This is good when you're creating a 3D text. That's how you use the emboss. The other one is perspective. This is a bit comprehensive. If I enable it, you can see now that my edges are active, so you can drift your text by using the points. So that's how you deal with the perspective. So that's how you deal with the perspective. The other thing is 3D text. When you want to create a 3D text, you can just enable the 3D text. There's a perspective and oblique. So you can increase the depth. You can change it to the oblique. That's how the 3D. So that's how you deal with it. And you can be able to manipulate the colors of the 3D text like that. There are some settings. You just play with this and see where you can go with the angles of the oblique. That's how you just play around the settings and get familiar with the tools and see their effects so that you can be able to use it anytime that you want. So that is the 3D. And you can add the 3D shadow which comes beneath. It's just the shadow beneath the text. So you can increase the opacity, reduce the opacity, blur radius, be a little bright, or you can expand or reduce. That's how you deal with it. The other thing is the reflection. That means the text will be reflected, as you can see. So you can change the position now. So yeah, we are done with the text tool. Now let's go to the shape tool. So I'll just leave it here. Let me delete this. I'll just add the text and put my name there. Quarks Art Studios. So there is also this bar whereby you can shrink the text in such a way that you can create lines or spacing between the text. When you use this, see the effects, you resize. I'm just going to position this text here. So we're dealing with the shape tool. This is the shape tool. The shape tool is active but with few settings. Why? Because we don't have the shape. So we have this tool, this ribbon called the sticker, whereby there are some default stickers in PixelLab where you can select some stickers, press it wherever you want. That's how you deal with the stickers. So I'm just increasing the size by using this node. You can rotate, expand it, shrink it, it's up to you. But I'll advise you that when you are expanding a shape, use the corner part to shrink, to reduce or increase the scale of your object. Don't use these lines if you want to increase, because it will shrink your object, and as you are trying to return it to its normal shape, it's hard to get the definite shape of it. So when increasing, use the corner to increase, don't use the sides. So that's how you add the stickers. These are just some default stickers. I'll just delete them. The other thing is, here in the shape tool you can import pictures. If you want to add a certain element or picture, that's how you can import the pictures. So just take this picture. Okay, so if you want to add a picture in your photo, in the Canva, just import, then select what you want. Try to look, yes, have a family photo, you want to put it in a frame somewhere, you can just put the picture here and your text, good to go. So that's how you add a photo in PixelLab. The other thing is draw. Is where now you get a chance to draw some scribbles. Perfect practice makes one perfect. So stick around, let's create something that speaks. In the next video, we're going to look at the shape tools. We're going to start with the draw tool, how to use it, and look to more ranges of shape tools. So stick around. Be with me in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.